A studio once needed 15 finished clips for a single commercial, and to get them, they ran 400 separate AI generations, one after another. 385 of those attempts were thrown away completely. That's not a mistake. That's simply what the sticker price never actually tells you. Every AI tool out there advertises one number up front, the price per generation. In practice, that's almost never what you end up actually paying. Getting one usable shot rarely happens on the first attempt. The more complex the prompt, the more tries it takes. It can take up to 10 separate tries. A 5-second clip priced at $1 can quietly turn into $5 once every failed attempt gets counted honestly, not swept aside. Creators have a name for this pattern: the iteration rate. It's actually the single biggest driver of real cost, even more than the sticker price you first see. A cheaper model with sloppy prompt control can genuinely end up costing more overall than an expensive model that simply gets it right the first time. So how do you actually measure which tool is quietly lying to you with its price tag and which one is telling you the truth? There is exactly one number that answers that question, honestly, and almost no platform ever bothers putting it on the pricing page at all. It's called the yield rate. And once you actually know that number, every single AI video price tag starts reading completely differently to you. Yield rate is simply the percentage of your generations that come back genuinely usable without you ever needing to fix even a single frame by hand afterward. The formula behind it is actually brutally simple. Your real cost per clip is just the sticker price divided by that exact yield rate number. In February 2026, a group of researchers tested 500 separate generations across 6 major AI video models just to measure this one number. Kling 3.0 Pro came out on top by a wide margin, consistently delivering roughly 8 or 9 usable clips out of every 10 it generated. Runway's Gen-4 Turbo, by comparison, landed at only 68% overall, meaning almost a third of every single generation was simply thrown straight away. But the worst offender wasn't the priciest tool. It was Hailuo 02, priced at just 99 cents. That model's yield rate was only 60%. Once you do the division, the real cost jumps to $1.67 per usable clip. Meanwhile, Kling 3.0 Standard, with a slightly higher sticker price but a 72% yield rate, ended up cheaper overall at 97 cents. The lesson is uncomfortable for anyone chasing the lowest number on a pricing page. Cheap and expensive can trade places once you count the waste. This right here is exactly the number that separated that opening commercial's 400 attempts from what a genuinely leaner production run would have actually needed. But yield rate alone still doesn't explain everything that's happening here. There's a second, much quieter rule that makes the real bill even worse. It actually has nothing to do with which specific model you happen to pick. It's entirely about what happens the exact moment the AI gets something wrong. When a generation fails or comes back looking wrong, most people assume the retry is free, or at least discounted. It almost never is. Regenerating a shot costs exactly the same as the original attempt did the first time. There's no apology discount anywhere for the AI's own mistake, ever. It actually gets worse than that. Some platforms reject a prompt outright for showing a real person, a brand name, or an ambiguous request. When that happens, the credits you already spent on that particular attempt are usually just gone for good, whether the video ever actually generated or not. 5 separate rejected prompts, while you're refining just one single scene, can quietly eat up a really meaningful chunk of an entire month's credit allowance. That's exactly why experienced creators always build in a healthy buffer before they even start. Roughly 30% more credits than the raw shot count actually demands. Skip that buffer, and a whole project can run dry, with the video only half finished, right there in the middle of production. Add it all up together, the iteration, the rejection, no discount ever for either one, and generation alone runs $20 to $220 per minute. That entire wide range depends on which model tier you choose and on how many attempts each individual shot actually takes to land. Everything so far came from testing across Kling, Runway, and other platforms. Now, here's what the exact model I used here actually charges for this video. Take this exact 8-minute video, rendered here start to finish on Gemini Omni Flash, cut into 48 separate 10-second blocks, one per scene. Each individual clip on Gemini Omni Flash costs 30 full credits just to generate. 48 clips alone already comes to 1,440 credits before anything else. Every single clip also needs its own voice take, just a fraction of a credit each, plus a one-time style image the whole channel reuses afterward. Add it all up with absolutely zero mistakes, and the floor for this video, on this specific model, sits at roughly 1,450 credits total. That price isn't fixed. This platform hosts a dozen other models, from Kling to Sora 2 to native 4K, each priced differently. But zero mistakes almost never actually happens in practice. Somewhere across 48 clips, a handful will fail or come back looking wrong. Every single one of those failures gets billed all over again at full price for the retry. The exact same rule from a few minutes ago applied right here. Genuinely realistic run, with even a fairly modest failure rate built right in, lands much closer to 1,600 credits once every single retry gets counted. The honest version of this whole pipeline always logs every single attempt to a running ledger. Successes and failures, both. Nothing ever hidden. That ledger, in the end, is the actual real price of the video. Not the number on the pricing page, but the number after everything actually happened. Go back for a second to that commercial from the very opening. 400 generations, 15 usable clips, under $2,000 total. That's not a broken production at all. That's simply what an honest AI video budget actually looks like once every attempt gets counted. The tools didn't actually get cheap because generation itself got free somehow. They got cheap because someone finally started counting the waste out loud. The real cost of AI video was never really the number sitting on the homepage. It was always the number nobody wanted to publish. Now you know exactly which number that is. And the two rules, yield rate and the retry, that never discounts, that ultimately decide it. Next time you see a price per generation, go ahead and ask the question that actually matters here. Usable or just generated?